Infertility is defined by the CDC as 12 months of unprotected intercourse without conception. Those who experience infertility have a variety of options open to them, but today we will be discussing IVF, or in vitro fertilization. IVF is the joining of a woman's eggs and a man's sperm in a laboratory dish. In vitro literally means outside of the body. After fertilization has been confirmed, the embryos are implanted back into the woman, generally after 3 days. Going through IVF cycles is emotionally taxing. While enduring emotional stress, a woman must bear rounds of hormone injections, vaginal ultrasounds, blood tests, and egg retrieval before the transfer of embryos into her womb can even take place. IVF is also financially burdensome, with the average round costing $12,400. If you plan on using an egg donor, the cost will be significantly higher, and not every round of IVF results in a pregnancy. If you undergo IVF, your chances of having more than one child are 20 to 40% higher, depending on how many embryos are transferred. Because IVF gives the doctor the ability to transfer multiple embryos at once, the global rates of multiple births has skyrocketed after the introduction of IVF. Policies are in the midst to stop multiple embryo transfers because there is a correlation between multiple births due to IVF and medical risks for both the mother and the babies. Single embryo transfers are the ultimate goal for the future. As you can see, pregnancy rates are higher for younger women than they are for older women, and the risk of multiples is higher than it would be otherwise. On websites such as IVF.ca and IVFconnection.com, women and couples can find forums, blogs, clinics, articles, and news to help them keep in touch and informed in the IVF community. I decided to interview my cousins with their experience on having triplets with in vitro fertilization. So we'll start off by introducing yourselves.
Okay, well, I'm Melissa.
I'm Steve.
These are our 3 kids. What's your name?
Yeah, that's right, buddy.
This is Ava. What's your name?
What's your name? And what's your name?
Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz. And Brooke.
Okay, when did you guys consider IVF to start your family?
After how many years of trying?
3 or 4 years of trying, and I was nearing 30, and we finally decided to give it a shot. We started with Clomid. We did that for a few months, and then we did IUI. We really tried to do everything we could before going to IVF because, you know, the risk of multiples and the stress on your body and emotionally, financially. But ultimately, we did, and it worked on the first time.
How many embryos do they transfer at a time?
They transferred 2.
2 at a time?
And our doctor is the big advocate for single embryo transfer because they don't want to see multiples anymore. And I said, let's do 2 because we had invested so much time and money. And he shook his head like disapprovingly, and we did 2.
Our 2 got 3.
So yeah, 3 is a handful. What would you have done if you had 4 or 5 kids in one pregnancy?
Oh dear. Well, we were terrified enough when we found out we were having triplets. So 4 or 5, I don't know.
You just deal with it, you know? I mean, the doctors, the whole fact of the matter of having 3 was the risk to her during the pregnancy, you know? If the doctor said, you know, it was okay, it was viable, then we went through with the pregnancy, of course. But, you know, if there were times we had 5 and her health would be fine and baby's health would be fine, then we do it.
Well, my concern was, you know, I'll never forget, I was on a walk with my girlfriend before we even decided to do fertility, and she said, would you want to have twins? I said, you know, twins would be kind of cool, but I'd be afraid I wouldn't be able to give enough love to each child. Mm-hmm. So that was a big concern for me when we found out we were having 3. Like, well, how am I going to show enough love to all 3?
Definitely did that. How would your life have been different if you had not gone through the IVF?
I believe we wouldn't have any kids right now, so our lives would feel pretty empty right now.
Pretty empty.
Come on.
So what's the best part about having triplets?
There is never a dull moment. ever.
Let me a kiss.
That's the best part.